Hi guys, so I'm here with my first part of my mini-series in tutorial for gymnastics, and what I'm going to talk about today is hands and feet, because it is a big problem with small gymnasts that they do not know how to properly keep their hands and feet in certain skills and such. So what I was going to do is just basically explain to you how the hands and feet are supposed to look like, and then I'll present some examples of what we do and how we teach our kids to look like real gymnasts. So first, many people, I'm just going to remove my slippers so you can see my feet. Okay, I have really huge feet, so you don't need to mock me for the size of my feet. Okay, so most people know that gymnasts keep their toes pointed at almost any part of every routine. The only time that they flexing is called when you point your toes to your nose and you keep your foot flexed like that. The only time they keep their foot flexed is when they're landing a skill, like if they're doing a back tuck, for example. They need to flex their feet to be able to land on their feet. So otherwise, all the time their feet are pointed and straight like this. Okay, so many people, like ballet dancers, they practice their bending of their toes. So most of them can bend their toes more than I can. And with some practice, you can get a really nice bend to your toes. I know a gymnast called Nastya Liukin. She's a very famous gymnast, American gymnast. Her toes, if you watch her routines, like beam routines, look at her toes, because her toes are really flexible and they can bend like very much. So we teach our kids to keep their toes pointed, and one thing that I was taught when I was a kid was that we were to pretend that our feet wants to look like ballet shoes, because if you watch ballet shoes, they are like pretty straight, and so that's a good thing to go for, to get that nice bend to your toes. And what I tell them, if they flex their feet in, like, say, a handstand, then I usually tell them that it looks like they have rain boots on. Like, I don't know if you call it rain boots, but it's just a direct translation from my language. So like if you wear rain boots, your feet will be like this flexed. So I usually tell them to think of a ballet shoe and think of a rain boot, and if they forget to straighten their toes, I just prickle their feet and tell them to look like ballet shoes. So that has worked pretty well for me, but your kids do have to know what these things look like. If you have a ballet shoe, you can bring it to class and show them, so it becomes more distinct to them, so that they can understand it better. And that was the feet. I will come back to that a bit later, but now I was going to talk about hands, because most kids, when they, let's say they just walk on their toes with straight legs and arms up in the air. So now I think I'll have to move, okay, about there. So to keep their arms straight, most kids, when you say to have your arms straight up in the air and to try to touch the ceiling or the roof, or the ceiling, then most kids do this. they just let their hands hang and their elbows are bent. This is so bad. I can't tell you how bad this is. You need to point and to tell the kids to almost keep their arms like glued to their ears, or you can tell them to keep them behind their ears, because most kids do like glue their arms to their ears and then they lean forward so they don't get a nice back, and that's also a problem. So you need to tell them to glue their arms to their ears or behind their ears, and you need to keep them straight, to keep their chin up and to walk on their toes. So that was the arms, and now comes the hands. Most kids start off with just plain hands in the air, and if I were to say to a couple of 3-year-olds to keep their hands as pretty as they could, they would probably, all of them, just spread their fingers. Because if they watched gymnastics and older kids do gymnastics, they notice that they spread their fingers, but they don't remember how to do it. So their fingers are just being like a face palm. So most kids do this. And the thing is, you need to teach them to keep their thumbs forward like this, and their face of their palm needs to go out. So you teach them from the beginning to go like this. They don't need to have the prettiest fingers the first time. You just teach them to keep their face of the palm out like this. And then when they got that, you need to start teaching them the fingers. So most gymnasts keep their fingers separated, and they keep their longest finger, I don't know the names of the finger, they keep their longest fingers and their thumb a bit closer together than the other fingers. So I don't know if you can see this. And what I do to teach my kids that is I give them something to hold on to. So let's say this is a belt, for example. It could be anything from a jump rope to just a plain rope or whatever. It could be whatever. And you lay it down on the ground. Lay it down on the ground, and you teach them to take their thumb and to take their longest finger and to grab the rope with just their thumbs and their longest finger there, and to keep all of the other fingers above and to not touch the rope. And that way they will know which fingers to put together, because it's troubling for them they often don't remember which finger goes where. So remember to keep the other fingers up in the air and to just put the thumb and the longest finger together like this. And when they have learned like which fingers go together, then you can start teaching them to relax in the hands, because when I'll put you back there. Okay, so when a gymnast uses her hands, old gymnasts, they do not like tense up in their hands such. So the fingers become arched. If you can see this, they do not put so much tension in their hands. It's just you need to learn how to relax and to make it look pretty, because if you tense up, then it won't look as pretty as if you relax and you know which hands or which fingers go together. And also, if you learn how to relax, then you can relax the other fingers, and they don't have to spread as wide as you can. They can just spread a little bit, and so that you can see there's space between every finger. So this is how to have a perfect hand, or have a perfect hand, to keep your hand relaxed and to know which finger goes together. And the thing is, to teach your kids this, they just have to know which finger goes together, and they need to learn how to relax. And so you can just teach them to shake their hands up and then just let it go, and just slowly trying to keep your thumb and the longest finger together. And this is just something you have to practice, and there's not really a trick for this. It's just that practice makes perfect, basically. So that was hands and feet. I don't know how much time I have left. I think that will be it for the first time. If you have any questions, then just please send me a message and I'll answer them. I don't think there's anything else I need to cover about the hands and feet, other than just keep reminding them to do it. And even in practice, to salute the judges. Saluting is when you pull your arms up and showing that you're ready to do something, or showing that you're done or have done a skill. So teach them to do this with every single skill. It needs to be in the back of their mind. They need to wake up in the middle of the night and know exactly how to do everything. So you need to teach them to do this. You need to be at their back and basically push at them to do this, because it's very important that they do, so that they don't come to a competition and forget, because oh my, they can't forget to do that. It's really bad. So you need to remind them to do it all the time, and if they do it all the time, then it would just become a habit, and their fingers will be kept pretty all the time. So that's the best tip I can give you. Just keep reminding them to do it all the time. To salute the judges, even if there aren't judges there, or salute the coach, or whatever. Even if it's just a handstand. It's so important that they do this. I can't put an emphasis enough on how important it is for them to do this. So I think that will be it. And yeah, hope you have learned something. But maybe about the ballet shoe, or the ringing boot, or maybe just something, I don't know. I'll see you guys soon, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.